Hey everybody, my name is Sharon Quinn and I'm also known as the original runway diva, and you are watching Model Behavior. Class is officially in session. Today my guest lecturer is the author of 2 original novels, Scandalicious and Harlem Boys, and his name is Armani Williams. He is also the owner and CEO of Jerzee Boy Publications. His next 2 novels are both due this year. Welcome Armani Williams to Model Behavior. How you doing?
Thank you for
Thank you
having me.
so much for joining us today. Now, I told you before we started that I'm really, really interested in what it is you do. You're a self-published author.
Yes, ma'am.
How does one do that? How do you get to, well, just fill me in on how you do it, what it costs, all of that stuff, because I know everybody wants to know this.
Okay. I'm glad you asked, because I get asked this a lot, and it's such a detailed answer. All right. The first thing you got to do, write a book. That's the first thing. No, I mean, honestly, and lately that's my answer to people when they ask. They're like, oh, I want to write a book. How do I do it? I'm like, write the book.
Okay.
You know, and then they're like, well, okay, what do I do about publishing? I'm like, write the book first.
Okay.
Because the process can be a little lengthy.
Okay.
You know, sometimes depending upon how big your book is. But start first, you know, write your book. Get it copyrighted. You want a good editor. I have, you know, I was one author that I know, Damon Durrell, shout out to Damon Durrell. He referred me to my editor, Jessica Barrow Smith, and she's awesome. She's been editing my books since my second release, Harlem Boys.
Okay.
And she's really awesome. You know, after the editing, the copywriting, you want a cover designer. So one of my actor buddies, Damian Omar Lee, shout out to Damian, introduced me to my cover designer, Sudan Martin out of Brooklyn. And it was, you know, I do everything step by step, you know, that way it doesn't feel like I'm spending as much money.
So it does cost a lot of money?
It can. It can, depending upon, you know, and I have author friends who design their own covers, and some I know even edit their own books. I wouldn't recommend that.
Okay.
You know,
why?
Only reason I don't recommend editing your own book is because other people are going to see things that you didn't see. The editing of my first book, Scandalicious, was a effing nightmare for that reason. Because, you know, that time my editor wasn't good.
Okay.
I didn't have Jessica yet. You know, and there were a lot of mistakes that editor missed, and then there was stuff that I didn't see. So my first promo copy I had, I was showing it to people, and they were pointing mistakes out. I was like, ooh.
Oh.
So I had to push the release back even further. You know, there's a lot of little intricate pieces. You know, editing is probably the longest thing of it all.
And if you don't have a grasp on the English language,
yes,
you should probably let somebody else edit your book. Because I've read a lot of street novels that are written just the way they talk.
Yes.
And while I can see how that would be important to sort of keep the true feeling of the book.
Right.
I'm a stickler for spelling errors,
yes,
and that makes me not want to read the book.
Right.
If I'm sitting there correcting it as I go along.
Right.
So I get it.
Right.
But let's go back to the copyright thing. Now,
yes,
you said first write the book.
Write the book.
Okay, I get that. Now, copywriting.
Yes.
How much is that expensive? Because I heard, you know, that you could put your book in an envelope and mail it to yourself. The poor man's copyright. So you can't do that anymore.
You know, you can do it, but here's the deal. It won't stand up in court.
Really?
Let's say somebody wants to take your book, right? The book you wrote, and slap their name on, say they wrote it. If you take your poor man's copyright to the court, the judge is not gonna, it's not going to be, you know, it's gonna be void, more or less, you know, because it's, you know, there's nothing like having an official copyright, which you get from Washington, D.C. You go online, www.copyright.gov, and it's like $40. And now you can do it manually. You can upload it from your computer straight there, and then
Really?
there it is. Now, when I copyrighted my first book, I had to mail it.
Okay.
But that was back in 2005. They hadn't quite gone digital yet. So yeah.
So you can do that. Oh, that makes everything pretty easy.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Definitely.
sitting here looking at you because you just killed my dreams with that poor man's copyright ain't gonna stand up in court thing.
It won't. But what you want to do, just like, if you have a trademark, like you're the original runway diva, you have paperwork stating that you are the original runway diva, no one will ever be able to take your title. You know what I mean? Because that's the first thing they're going to ask for. Where's the paperwork? If it's yours. You know what I mean? It's like driving a car with no registration. How do we know it's really yours?
True. Very true. I want to dispute that, but we're not gonna stay. We're not gonna stay on that.
A lot of people out there.
Because there's a lot of people going
with no registration.
Yeah. Now, you also have your own publishing company.
Yes, ma'am.
How did that come about?
I started Jerzee Boy Publications in 2013, shortly before Harlem Boyz came out. And I'd already put my first book, Scandalicious, out, not connected to a publishing company, but it was still me. So I still put it under my Jerzee Boy Publications umbrella. I did that so I could further brand myself as an author, that I wasn't just an author who put books out. No, this is my brand that I'm building.
Okay.
So my tagline for Jerzee Boy Publications is bringing you the best in urban chic fiction.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's what, years ago, one of my friends read my first book, Scandalicious, and he said, this is real urban chic. And I said, I like that. I like that. So that's how I market my work, so I don't really worry about competition with other authors because I created my own lane. I'm the only author who writes urban chic. People write urban books, but I write urban chic books. So.
And what exactly would you define? How would you define urban chic?
Urban, but with a lot of class.
Okay.
Sophistication, Now, don't get me wrong. I have ratchet characters and ratchet storylines sometimes.
But not everybody wants to read ratchet stuff. I mean, you get a whole table full of those at the book fairs.
Absolutely.
And speaking of book fairs, now
let's talk about
you're self-published,
yes, ma'am.
which means that you got to pay for all of this yourself, which also means that all of your earnings go back in your pocket.
A lot of them,
for the most part.
Yes.
Do you have to do the book fairs? It's a big hustle, right?
It is a big hustle.
You got to get the word out about your book. How does that go?
Well, a lot of the book fairs, everybody's online now, so you know when they're coming. So they always, will ask you if you'd like to participate, and you usually have to pay for a table or bring your own, or sometimes
but
those
you have to
can
pay
be
for the
expensive.
spot, though.
Yes.
Even if you bring your own table, you got to still pay for the.
Yes.
How costly are they?
Some of them can be quite costly. Now, I've had some that are like 100, 150, that's fine. There's a book fair that happens here in New York that I won't name. But
does it happen in my neighborhood?
Yes, it does. Yes.
Yeah.
$400. $400. I said, oh, okay.
And is that for 2 days or is it?
That's 1 day.
What?
That's if you want to. Now, it's not as much if you don't want a canopy, but that's in the middle of the summertime. I've been out there when it's heat waves.
So you can't bring your own canopy. You have to buy it.
You can. But see, I know for me, that's like the only time I'd use it. So I'm like, I don't want one. But, but yeah, sometimes they can be costly, especially the ones that are out of town. Because you pay for the spot, airfare, hotel if you're staying somewhere, so it could definitely can be costly.
So you're flying to these. You're not driving to these things. You flying to.
I haven't really done the far away ones yet. But I know I'm definitely trying to get to like Philly and DC, but those aren't too far away. I haven't been to Atlanta yet or Florida yet.
This is the Atlanta book right here.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to get there.
Okay.
I haven't been there yet.
So what now, let's say you got to lay out $400 for your spot with your little canopy to protect you from the elements.
Yes.
How many books you got to sell to make your money back? And does that happen a lot? Do you wind up taking a loss a lot, or?
I haven't taken a loss yet.
Oh,
Haven't taken
praise
a loss
God,
yet.
yes.
Praise God. Praise God. I usually make my money back. You know, the thing is, you want to go where the readers are. You know what I mean? And every event I've done, thankfully, I've met new readers. You know, and then the cool thing is sometimes I'll have people come up and go, wow, you're Armani Williams. I love your work. I'm like, wow, thanks.
Ah.
You know, that's always cool. Like I was in my neighborhood. I did a fair in my neighborhood in downtown Newark, New Jersey. And I remember this guy was like standing by my table but wasn't saying anything. Like, so I just, you know, I was like, all right, whatever. So I'm just looking around, just, you know, waving to people. And he comes up and he goes, hey, I just want to ask you, when is the sequel to Harlem Boys coming out? I said, oh, it'll be out next year. This was last year. And he said, man, it was amazing. He said, the church scene made me cry.
Really?
He was standing there for like 5 minutes and didn't say a word. You know, I think he was, I guess, trying to think of the words to say, but I was just like, wow, you just never know where your readers are going to be.
Now,
you know?
I've been to that book fair that we not gonna name.
Yes.
But this in my neighborhood.
Yes.
And I see people giving out, I guess, like a snippet of their work to read. Is that sort of the process to get people to stop at your table, or is there?
It can be. It can be. Like for me, I'll open up a book to like a real interesting page, like here, read from right here to right here. And I've sold books that way.
Really?
I've definitely sold books that way. Like because, you know, for people who don't know who I am and don't know my work, which is cool, you know, I'm like, oh, okay. And I stand and I talk to the person. I kind of get a feel for their personality, ask them what kind of books they like, and they tell me. I'm like, oh, okay, you know what? I got a little bit of that in this book here. Look at that.
So personality does, you need it. You
Yes.
can't be the shy author
No.
who writes really well but can't really relate to people.
Right.
Because you're not going to sell books
Right.
like that, right?
And you'll appear standoffish.
And that's a turn off too.
Yeah.
Well, that's a turn off to any customer. You got to
Yeah.
be approachable.
Right.
So, say you're working on your book. Where did you get your inspiration from your first book?
Ooh. My first book, Scandalicious. Scandalicious is about a married basketball player. He's really wealthy, got a lot of endorsements, married to a beautiful wife, has a beautiful home, everything, but he's secretly sleeping with a rapper from New York. The rapper's a man, public finds out about it, all hell breaks loose. How did I come up with that?
Yeah. Which book is that? Oh, that
I
book
don't
ain't on
have
his
that
table.
one.
Okay.
I don't have that one with me.
Okay.
But nah, I was listening to a lot of hip hop radio at the time. That was like 2005, 2006 era. You know, Hot 97, BLS. You know, goodness, that was when blogs started to become the thing. You know, about these celebrities and all the dirt and stuff they're doing. So that kind of inspired that story. I was like, I said, a basketball player. Ooh, and he could be messing with a rapper. Ooh, and his wife could secretly like girls. All of a sudden, the wheels of my mind started
I'm
turning.
sorry?
Oh,
You just
yes.
sort of threw that part.
Yes. His wife likes girls too, which is why the book is called Scandalicious.
Okay.
It's just it's scandal coming every which way at you in that book.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna need it. Okay.
Yeah?
I want to read that.
Oh yeah,
So
it's hot though.
I'm hot.
know you're a grown woman.
I could take it.
I know. That's just my disclaimer.
And when we
off
off camera, I'm gonna tell you about my concept for the book that I wrote it. I can't even I can't print that while my mama's still alive. Cause she read that book, I'm being in a lot of trouble.
I'm gonna tell you something about that.
Mm.
My mother didn't read Scandalicious till like right before it came out, because she helped me with the final edits. That was scary. That was scary. She was like, okay, right, I'm just reading a lot of sex. When does the story start? Just tell me when the story starts. So I was like, all right, you're gonna skip to chapter 5, and yeah, because I said that's how I'm a reel them in. Just, you know, or open up with the sex talk.
Now, when you since you threw sex out there,
Yes, ma'am.
when you're writing it for the public to read, how do you write sex scenes? Do you have to write? Do they have to be graphic, or do you have to finesse it a little bit? Or I mean, I guess everybody does it differently.
Yes.
But how does it work for you?
I just try to really focus on the connection between the two people who are doing it, so that the reader feels like they're there. You know, and the good thing is people's feedback has been I read your book and I needed to go and get me some.
Okay.
I was like, all right, cool.
Now, you're also an actor
Yes, ma'am.
and a singer.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, do you ever do the three ever commingle? Have you done like staged readings of your book?
Actually, yes, kind of. I'll tell you, because I've done a few events where like I was speaking and they asked me to like read excerpts from my book. And thankfully, because of my background as an actor, it's like really entertaining. They're all like, ooh, you should do an audiobook, which is definitely one of the things I'm trying to do.
Why? Because you think audiobook, you think of somebody who can't, they.
Oh, well, there's that. There's that. So the people who can't, for the blind people, they can listen, because my book's not in Braille. But it's just, people sometimes they like to get in the car and drive, listen to books. They like to run, listening to books. It's just, my mother listened to a lot of audiobooks when I was growing up. She read a lot of books, but when audiobooks became the thing in like probably the 90s, she got a lot of books on tape from the library just to listen to as she was cooking or cleaning up or, and
So doing a book on tape, is that's a matter of getting actors to read parts, or are you reading all the parts, or?
Well, some authors who probably are not actors probably hire other people. I would do my own.
Okay.
Yeah, I would do
And
my
is it
own.
more expensive than, say, a print publication?
I don't know the figures of that one yet. I'm only thinking about it. Thus far, I haven't actually looked into it. The thing I'll be honest with you, the thing that's holding me up, that doesn't have me going like, let's hurry up and do it, is simply because right now everyone has Kindles. Everyone's got Kindles and Nooks. Oh, you don't? Okay, well, I'll tell you something. The Kindle app, you got an iPhone? Okay, I have a Droid. Team Droid. Okay. The thing about Kindle app is free. You don't even have to pay for it. You just have to, the books you buy, you pay for those, but it's so convenient, especially when you're on a train for a long time, you can just pull out your phone and read a book right there on your phone.
Can I stop you right there?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm such a nerd. I like the feel of the paper and flipping the pages, and I like to hold books. I don't like reading a book on my phone or on the iPad.
I used to be that way till I read my first book on Kindle, and I was like, oh, I like this. I like this.
What's the difference?
It's so
you?
convenient because you can store so many books on your Kindle. I have like 20 books on my Kindle right now. Now, my partner has like over 200 probably, but he reads a lot of books. But for me, it's cool because, like I said, anywhere I am, I don't have to carry a bag full of books. Well,
not a bag full. Like I'm traveling and I'm on the plane.
Yeah.
That starts to strain. For me, it strains my eyes.
Gotcha.
And I just really I'm a nerd. I want to get into my book and
that's why I have
flip
them in
the
both
pages.
formats. I got Kindle books and I got these.
And if I listen to an audio book, I'm going to sleep. I don't care how good it is.
I got you.
It's gonna lull me to sleep,
got
and I'm
you.
gonna miss some good parts.
I got you.
So-
Well, you want to be accessible,
I get it.
So-
I get it. Now and you're alumni of the Cicely Tyson School of Performing and Fine Arts, and
Yes,
you
ma'am.
performed at the school's reopening gala. This school is in Jersey, because I
Yes,
remember being at this school for an event.
Yes, East Orange, my hometown.
Well, I got some history in East Orange. We're not going into that. But tell me about that experience for you.
Wow, because it feels like I was in high school so long ago.
You're not that old.
I'm not that. I'm 30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So class of 2003, that's when I graduated, 03. Going to Cicely Tyson, these were the early days of the school. The school's grown tremendously since then. But it was really cool because we were a real performing arts school, and our teachers were respected artists in their field. Like I had, our band teacher was a real musician. My choir director she was not only minister of music at our church, but she'd been directing choirs for years. And my voice teacher was has this beautiful opera voice. To me, she sounds like Audra McDonald. Every time I hear Audra McDonald sing, I'm like, she sounds like Miss White. But you know, and it was really cool because now to see the growth that the school now has. You know, the new building, which I performed for, was like $145 million project.
Whoa.
To put up. So it's a brand new school, and the students there, they have so much access to stuff now, you know. And this, I'm just happy to see that.
Does Miss Tyson come to the school?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Miss Tyson comes to the school. Actually, I just saw Miss Tyson about a month ago. The principal, Miss Trimmins, she passed away, and Miss Tyson came to the funeral. She and Miss Trimmins were cool. They'd become friends.
She's a very nice lady. I had the pleasure of meeting her once.
She's very eloquent, and the way that she speaks on screen is the way she speaks in real life.
You are so funny.
People don't know that. They think
That's
she's...
that actor thing kicking in right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You are so funny.
Yeah.
Now, are you... Okay. You said... All right, let me go back. You said copyright. No, write, copyright, edit, and then publish.
Correct.
Okay, so how about the getting film rights and all that? Is that like a next step if your book is like wildly popular?
What happens is they come find you. If it's like remember the Coldest Winter Ever was everywhere, and it was supposed to be a movie, but they never quite came out with it. But yeah, when your books are like big sellers like that, it's like Hollywood just kind of comes knocking.
And how do you get, without the backing of a big publishing company, how do you get to that point?
Hustle real hard. Go to every event you can, meet as many people as you can. Sometimes it comes with you having to give books away just so they'll read it. Sign it, put your business card in it, give it to them. Say, when you got a minute, read this. It's all different kinds of ways. I mean, for me, I didn't take the track of trying to go straight to Hollywood. I mean, if it happens, great. If not, that's okay too. But it's just a hustle.
Now, I saw on YouTube.
Yes, ma'am.
That you do trailers for your books. I don't think I've ever seen that for a book before. How important is that to your book sales and I guess like the buzz about your book?
It's good because people get to see your product. For me, I haven't gone the route of like hiring actors to act out the scenes. More or less, they're like pictures from the shoot, like Jersee lovers. Got a photographer. I know both of these people. The guy's my cousin, and I went to college with the young lady on the cover. Hey, Will and Lauren. And, so we did a full photo shoot in the park. So I had so many amazing pictures that I wanted to show. With the title being Jersee Lovers, it was at a park in Jersey, and they were posing as lovers. Okay. So, I wanted to show that, and everyone, they met the day of the shoot. They'd never met prior to that. I think they talked on Facebook, but there was such a chemistry between the two of them that they really looked like lovers. People stopped us and said, "Is this your engagement photo shoot?" And they said, my cousin was like, "No, it's my cousin's book cover." And so it was cool.
Now, is this the first one you've done the trailer for? Or did you do that for Scandalicious?
I haven't done one for Scandalicious. I did one for Jersee Lovers, but like a week later I did one for Harlem Boyz. Even though Harlem Boyz was already out, I didn't know how to do it. I had just gotten an iPad. I was playing around with it. Okay. And I saw someone do that for their wedding. And I said, what program did you use? They said, on my iPad I used, I can't even think of the freaking program right now, I'm sorry. I think it's iMovie. Okay. Yeah, I think it's iMovie. And I just put all the pictures in, got the song I wanted, and just played around with it till it was done.
If only iMovie was that easy. Ooh.
I had to sit there and fiddle with it.
Me and iMovie, we have a love-hate relationship. It has not gone well. I don't like iMovie, sorry. So before we run out of time, let's talk about the sequel to Harlem Boyz.
The sequel to Harlem Boyz, okay. First of all, shout out to all my Armani loves who still hit me up about the book. The cool thing.
Before you even do that, tell me about, what's Harlem Boyz about? Because I don't know.
Sure. Harlem Boyz is about 4 gay black male best friends who live in Harlem. One is a real estate agent. Other is a teacher. Another guy works for City College and as a financial aid, he's like the head of the department. And then the other guy is a security guard. And the four of them met like around when they were in college. And so it's just the life's ups and downs, you know, relationships, breakups, makeups, family life, careers. You know, I touch on a lot of different issues. You know, one ends up in an abusive relationship with another man, which happens. People don't know that happens as often as it does. Another is like trying to reconnect with his father who disowned him because he's gay. Another is like madly in love with his partner and finds out he's been cheated on and goes through the motions of the breakup. And then the other one is like a carefree whore all over New York till he falls in love and wonders if he can commit. So that's
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And this was so wildly popular that you had to pen the second book.
Yes, ma'am.
And this, I'm assuming that this picks up
Yep.
where this one left off.
It's like a year and a half later.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a year and a half later because the boys have grown so much. So yeah, that's why.
And when does that, is that out already or?
It'll be out, I'm looking at the end of 2015 or like the top of 2016.
Okay, so that, all right, you have, okay, so that's Scandalicious, Jerzee, Harlem Boys came out after that, then Jersey Lovers, and now Harlem Boys 2. Well, that sounds like the one that might be, Hollywood might come calling for that.
I would love to see Harlem Boys be a TV series because it goes so many different places with the four guys, you know, because I knew that this was going to have a sequel before I was done with the first one.
Okay. Well, you hear my music.
Yeah.
That means we're out of time, and boy, am I enjoying this conversation. We're going to talk after we finish because I got a lot of stuff to ask.
All right.
I'd like to thank my guest lecturer, Mr. Armani Williams, for sharing his industry knowledge with us today. And before I go, I'd like to leave you with a few thoughts. 1, remember that you can't change the game until you first learn the game. 2, always surround yourself with positive people and positive things. And lastly, do what you love and love what you do. Thanks for watching me, Model Behavior, and I'll see you all next week. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. And if you missed an episode of Model Behavior, now you can pick up the previous episodes by watching our YouTube channel. Just Google Model Behavior with Sharon Quinn, and all of the previous episodes will come up. Until next week, class is officially dismissed. Bye, y'all.